What's up, guys? Today I have finally got my hands on a custom Polaris 10 card that I'll be reviewing on the channel. This is the PowerColor RX 480 Red Devil, which strives to be cooler, quieter, and faster than AMD's reference cooler, not to mention it's endorsed by the Dark Lord himself. Satan may not have the best track record, but he sure makes a great businessman. The card retails for $270 USD, which is fairly reasonable, and comes with two BIOS settings tailored for silence or performance, with the latter pushing the max clocks up to 1330 MHz, a 64 MHz boost over the reference speed. Silent mode runs at a lower but respectable 1276 MHz, but seeing it run at 666 would have been so metal. I should also mention here that users who snag a first production of this card should download the new BIOS via PowerColor's Devil Club, which gives you access to things like software and live chat support. All customers can join the Devil Club now for the very low price of your soul. Packed with 8GB of GDDR5, the card's memory clock stands at 2000 MHz, giving us 8 gigabits per second of bandwidth on a 256-bit interface. You also get the latest support for DirectX 12 and OpenGL 4.5. Now, the Devil series has been a part of PowerColor's product stack for years now, but it seems as though the company has grown even bolder with their demonic branding for the RX 480 launch, which might not bode well with more conservative folks. Just make sure you don't use this card for grandma's next PC, or she'll think it's possessed every time it starts installing Windows updates. Taking a closer look at the card itself, it's notably bigger than the reference design in every way, measuring 310mm long, 128mm tall, and 38mm thick. As we see here, the card's cooler extends well beyond the custom PCB, with a full metal semi-open shroud that exhausts hotness inside your chassis, a first date faux pas that I learned about the hard way. The shroud sports a rather devilish red and black theme while featuring a sturdiness and heft that feels really good for a card at this price point. Clearly, hell shouldn't be underestimated as a global manufacturer, but despite being a torturous and scorching hot wasteland plagued with misery, China still remains the largest manufacturing region in 2016. Across the shroud, we see a trio of 80mm dual ball bearing fans with an interesting hollow blade design to improve airflow. The fans only spin up when GPU temps rise above 60 degrees Celsius and air is pushed downward onto a large aluminum fin stack, including a pair of 6mm and 8mm copper heat pipes. PowerColor has beefed up the RX 480 to a 6+1 phase power design with increased power to 25 watts compared to the reference 22.5 watts, and this allegedly leads to higher overclocks and stability, but we'll put that to the test in a bit. The board has also been upgraded to a single 8-pin PCIe connector located on the side of the card for increased throughput. Adjacent is a Red Devil logo that seems to be oriented the wrong way compared to most other boards. I'm not sure if this is a move in favor of inverted cases like the Corsair 600C, or if PowerColor just caught on to the Devil's habit of putting things upside down. Lining the PCB, we find a gorgeous metal backplate with some stylish ventilation cutouts, and what was intended to be a pentagram, but apparently there was a big misunderstanding within PowerColor's design team, and the review sample I received came shipped with the Star of David instead. I can't even begin to imagine how offensive this is going to be to Satan worshippers. Now don't fret, I've been informed that consumer retail units will ship with the unholy pentagram design to honor the nefarious imp properly. Finally, our display I/O includes 3 DisplayPort 1.4 for 8K at 60Hz with HDR support, 1 HDMI 2.0B for 4K at 60Hz, and a dual-link DVI port that's nowhere to be found on the reference design. Hey, how about that? Now, when tweaking the Red Devil in AMD Wattman, the card was only able to hit a 4% overclock. The RX 480 isn't known to be a great overclocker by any means, but a small part of me was hoping to squeeze a bit more nectar out of the Devil's teat. I was happy to see no thermal throttling and an average clock speed of 1338 MHz after 20 minutes of running Unigine Heaven 4.0. While there's no major signs of throttling, the thermals here are admittingly not the best I've seen for a custom board. At its warmest, the GPU hit 81 degrees Celsius under load and hovered around the high 70s for a majority of the time. I mean, I know it's a card from hell and all, but damn, even Satan's gotta feel that burn. The GPU on this card definitely gets toastier than I would like to see, and users will have to boost the fan RPMs quite a bit if they hope to maintain temperatures far from the reference card. Of course, cranking up the fan speed means amplifying the noise they produce, but if this cooler has one redeeming quality, it's acoustics. Yep, this card goes right up there on the top list of things that don't make noise, right between potatoes and the encore at a Nickelback concert. But most importantly, how does she perform? To find out, I fired up the card on my X99 testbed with a 6950X at 4300 MHz, 32 gigs of DDR4 at 3800, and an Asus X99 Strix motherboard. All cards were manually overclocked with the latest drivers on Windows 10, and since the Red Devil is one hell of a beast, it's only fitting if we devour today's benchmarks to the most vicious and savage of sounds. So summing up these numbers, the Red Devil stayed neck and neck with our reference RX 480 nearly the whole time, meaning it did get beat out by the GTX 1060 in most titles. Firestrike Extreme was the one test where the Red Devil performed notably slower than its reference Bloodline, oddly, and only in the Division did it see a decent gain over it at 1920 by 1080. For 20 bucks more than the reference model, it seems, at least in my testing, that what you're paying for with this card is peace of mind from having the 8-pin power plug, killer looks, assuming you're into Satan, and truly silent operation. Unfortunately, I didn't see much improvement in terms of thermals or performance. With the reference RX 480 known for its amazing price to performance, the Red Devil would have had to yield some more frames today in order to keep that reputation, and since it doesn't, the premium price tag attached to it makes the prospect of a competitively priced GTX 1060 that much more appealing. But let me know what you guys think of this thing in the comments below, and don't forget to toss me a like on this video if you enjoyed it. I'm just gonna spin in my chair every time I do the outro now. Before you go, check the description for links to Awesome Sauce shirts, which can also double as pants. They're not designed that way, but don't let that stop you. Also my Amazon affiliate link, yeah. For now, I'm Kyle with Awesome Sauce Network. Thank you guys for watching, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next video.